They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But what they don't tell you is that the coldest revenge doesn't look like revenge at all. My name is David Kozlov, and 6 months ago, I sat in my car in the Brennan Technologies parking lot at 11 p.m., hands shaking, staring at a severance check that valued 8 years of my life at exactly $37,000 after taxes. The CEO's son, a 26-year-old trust fund brat named Tyler Brennan who'd never written a line of code in his life, had just outsourced my job to a team in Romania. Told me I was too expensive. Smiled while he did it. I didn't slash his tires. I didn't leak his emails. I didn't even raise my voice. I did something so much worse. I quietly handed their biggest competitor a 347-page audit that would dismantle his father's company piece by piece. Every vulnerability, every client weakness, every shortcut Tyler had forced us to take. And by the time he realized what I'd done, their stock had crashed 64%, their 3 biggest clients were gone, and I was completely untouchable. This is exactly how I did it. Let me take you back to when I still believed loyalty meant something. I started at Brennan Technologies in 2015, right out of my master's program at Carnegie Mellon. The CEO, Howard Brennan, was old school, built the company from his garage in the 90s, remembered every employee's name, actually listened when you pitched ideas. He hired me because I was hungry and brilliant. I worked 70-hour weeks to prove it. Within 2 years, I'd rebuilt their entire back-end architecture, cut server costs by 34%, reduced client onboarding from 6 weeks to 9 days. Our biggest client, a retail giant called Omnimart, told Howard directly that they renewed their $8.2 million contract because of my team's work. Howard gave me a corner office, a 15% raise, stock options. He called me the future of this company. That future had an expiration date. In March 2022, Howard had a stroke. Not severe enough to kill him, but bad enough that he stepped back from daily operations. And that's when his son Tyler slithered into the power vacuum like he'd been waiting his whole life for it. Tyler was everything his father wasn't, but impulsive, obsessed with disruption and scaling and every other hollow buzzword from his overpriced Wharton MBA. He wore Patagonia vests to board meetings, talked constantly about optimizing human capital. I knew we were in trouble the first time he said, trimming the fat, in an all-hands. I just didn't know I was the fat. September 19th. A Tuesday. I'd just gotten back from visiting my mom in the hospital. She was recovering from surgery. I'd taken exactly 3 days off in 8 years to be with her. I walked into the office at 7:45 a.m. Coffee still hot. I was reviewing a security patch when my desk phone rang. Tyler's assistant. David, Tyler needs you in conference room B. Now. Not his office. A conference room. Red flag. I walked in and stopped cold. Tyler sat at the head of the table, my usual seat in client meetings, flanked by 2 strangers I'd never seen. A woman in a gray pantsuit typing on a laptop. A man with an iPad who didn't even look up. No HR. No my manager. Just Tyler and his hired executioners. My mouth went dry. David. Hey man. Thanks for coming in. Tyler's smile was the kind you see on someone who's already made up their mind and is just enjoying the performance. I want to introduce you to some consultants from Stratix Solutions. They're helping us explore restructuring opportunities. I sat down slowly. The chair felt wrong. Everything felt wrong. Restructuring? The woman didn't even glance up. Just kept typing. Like I wasn't even there. Yeah, so, Tyler leaned back, hands behind his head. We've been doing a deep dive on operational costs, and your department is a significant line item. We're looking at outsourcing systems architecture work to a firm in Romania. Much more cost-effective. You know how it is. Line item. 8 years. 70-hour weeks. I'd missed my dad's funeral to finish the Omnimart integration, and I was a line item. Tyler, I built 80% of the infrastructure here. Outsourcing that would. Look, David, I get it. You're talented. But we need to be agile. We can't afford Silicon Valley salaries for work that can be done remotely for a fraction of the price. I stared at this child who'd never built anything in his life, who got his job because of his last name. What about the clients? My voice was quiet, controlled. OmniMart, Grayson Logistics, Aldrich Financial, they all have contracts specifying our team handles infrastructure. If you outsource, you're in breach. The woman from Stratix finally spoke. We've reviewed the contracts. There's flexibility in the language. We can introduce offshore partners as subcontractors. That's a loophole, I said flatly. And the clients will know it. Tyler leaned forward. David, I'm not asking for your permission. I'm giving you a courtesy heads up. We're moving forward. You've got two options. He slid a folder across the table. Transition into a part-time consulting role training the new team. Contractor rates, no benefits. Or take the severance package. 3 months salary. Non-negotiable. 3 months. After 8 years. I looked at the consultant. At Tyler's smug face. At the iPad guy scribbling notes. And I smiled. I'll need to think about it. Tyler blinked. He'd expected me to beg. Yeah, sure. Take the day. But I need an answer by tomorrow morning. I stood up, shook his hand, and walked out. By the time I reached my car, I'd already made my decision. They wanted to replace me? Fine. But they were going to pay for it in ways Tyler's business school brain couldn't even imagine. Here's what most people don't understand about corporate revenge. Emotion gets you caught. Sabotage gets you sued. Leaked emails get traced. The smartest revenge is the kind that looks like nothing. I went home that night and didn't sleep. I sat at my kitchen table with a legal pad and mapped out every single piece of leverage I had. What I knew. I had admin access to everything. Client databases, internal financials, project timelines, security audits, vendor contracts. Brennan's software had a critical vulnerability I'd been begging Howard to let me fix for 2 years. Not catastrophic yet, but in the wrong hands it could expose client data. Tyler had ignored my warnings because it hasn't been a problem so far. Our biggest competitor, Apex Systems, had tried to poach me twice in the last year. I'd said no out of loyalty to Howard. I had detailed documentation of every shortcut Tyler had forced on my team to speed up delivery, including 3 instances where we deployed updates that barely passed security standards because he didn't want to waste time. And the kicker? I'd been working on a complete internal audit of Brennan's systems for 6 months. Howard had commissioned it before his stroke. A full map of our infrastructure, client integrations, cost breakdowns, vulnerability assessments. Everything. It was 347 pages of proprietary gold. And Tyler had no idea it existed. I called Apex's CTO at 8 a.m. Rachel, it's David Kozlov. I know you've tried to recruit me before. I wasn't ready then. But I think we should talk. I went back to Tyler's office the next morning and accepted the severance. He looked relieved. Smart choice, man. I think this is best for everyone. I smiled. I agree. I'll need 2 weeks to transition my projects and document everything for the offshore team. 2 weeks. He frowned. Can you do it in 1? Not if you want it done right. He sighed. Fine. 2 weeks. But I want daily updates. Oh, Tyler. You just signed your own death warrant. For the next 14 days, I was the perfect employee. Showed up early. Stayed late. Created detailed handoff documents, recorded training videos, organized every file. And while I did all of that, I also did 3 other things. First, I made copies. Not of client data. That's illegal. But of my own work. Every system design I'd created. Every process document I'd written. Every presentation I'd given. All of it was my intellectual property, created before I'd signed Brennan's updated IP agreement in 2020. Perfectly legal to take with me. Second, I sanitized my digital footprint. Deleted personal files. Cleared browser history. Nothing they could accuse me of mishandling. Third, I finished the audit. All 347 pages. And I added a special section I'd never shown Howard. A detailed breakdown of every security risk Tyler had ignored, every client contract clause the outsourcing plan would violate, and a projected timeline of when those vulnerabilities would likely be exploited. On day 11, Tyler walked into my office unannounced. "Hey, quick question. What's this folder labeled Infrastructure Audit Final?" My blood turned to ice. He was standing behind me. My laptop was open. The USB drive was in my pocket, but the folder structure was visible on screen. I closed the laptop smoothly. "Oh, that's the audit your dad asked me to do last year, before his stroke. Pretty technical, mostly infrastructure documentation. I was going to delete it, but I figured I'd check if you wanted it first." Tyler waved his hand dismissively. "Nah, the offshore team's handling that now. Just purge it." "You got it." He left. I sat there for a full minute, heart hammering in my chest, before I ejected the USB drive and slipped it into my bag. He just told me to delete the one thing that would destroy him. I smiled. On my last day, I handed Tyler a USB drive. "Everything you need," I said. "Good luck." He barely looked at it. "Thanks, man. No hard feelings, right?" I shook his hand. "None at all." I walked out of Brennan Technologies for the last time and drove straight to Apex Systems headquarters. Rachel Winters, Apex's CTO, met me in her office with coffee and a grin. "David Kozlov, I've been waiting 2 years for this conversation." I slid a tablet across her desk. "I have something you're going to want to see." She raised an eyebrow. "I'm listening." For the last 6 months, I conducted a comprehensive audit of Brennan Technologies' entire infrastructure. Security vulnerabilities, client integration maps, cost structures, competitive weaknesses. It's all here. Her eyes widened as she scrolled. "David, is this legal?" "Completely. Howard Brennan commissioned this audit before his stroke. It was my work product, created with my personal methodology before the updated IP agreement. I own it, and I'm offering it to you as part of my employment package." She kept scrolling, eyes getting wider. We've been trying to crack Brennan's client base for years. If we know their vulnerabilities, their integration pain points. You can offer better solutions," I finished. "Targeted. Surgical. You'll know exactly what their clients are frustrated with." Rachel looked up at me. "What do you want?" "Senior VP of Engineering. Equity. And I want to lead the team that uses this audit to take Brennan's top 3 clients." She smiled slowly. "Done." It took exactly 6 weeks for Brennan to start unraveling. The offshore team Tyler hired was cheap, but they didn't know the systems, didn't understand the custom integrations. And when OmniMart's inventory portal started glitching during Black Friday prep, they panicked. I know this because OmniMart's IT director called me. Personally. "David, what the hell is going on over there? We've been trying to get support for 3 days. The offshore team keeps saying they're reviewing documentation." I kept my voice sympathetic. "I'm sorry, Glenn. I don't work there anymore. But if you're looking for a more reliable partner, I'm at Apex now. We specialize in exactly this kind of transition." 2 weeks later, OmniMart signed with Apex. $12.4 million. 3-year contract. Tyler called me 7 times. I didn't answer. He emailed, "We need to talk. This is unethical." I replied, "Good luck with your restructuring." In January, the vulnerability I'd warned about for 2 years finally got exploited. A client's data, nothing catastrophic, but enough to trigger breach disclosure laws, was accessed through a third-party integration the offshore team had misconfigured. Brennan had to report it publicly. Stock price dropped 23% in a single day. And then the lawsuit started. 2 clients sued for breach of contract, claiming Brennan had failed to maintain agreed-upon security standards. I didn't cause the breach. I didn't hack anything. I didn't sabotage them. I just stopped protecting them. By March, Brennan had lost 4 major clients. Stock was in freefall. Revenue projections cut in half. And Howard, recovering but still weak, fired Tyler and retook control. Then in April, I was at a tech conference in Austin. Apex had a booth showcasing our new inventory platform, built on everything I'd learned at Brennan, refined and perfected. And then I saw him, Tyler, standing at the edge of our booth, staring at the demo screen. He looked smaller, thinner. His Patagonia vest was wrinkled. He saw me. Our eyes met. He walked over slowly. David. Tyler. I kept my voice neutral, professional. You took them. His voice cracked. Omnimart. Grayson. Aldrich. You took them. They chose better service, I said simply. That's just business. You understand business, right? This was personal. His hands were shaking. You destroyed us because you told me I was too expensive? I smiled. Cold. No, Tyler. I didn't destroy you. I just stopped saving you. There's a difference. I handed him my business card. If you're looking for work, we're hiring. Entry-level systems admin $62,000 starting. I think you'd be a great fit. I walked away. I didn't look back. 2 weeks after that conference, Howard called me. David, I heard what happened. What Tyler did. I'm sorry. I paused. I appreciate that, Howard. He made a mistake. A catastrophic one. I want to make this right. Come back. Name your price. I could have said yes. Part of me wanted to. But I didn't build this for forgiveness. Howard, I respect you. I always will. But I'm VP of Engineering at Apex now. I've got equity. The team. And we just signed 3 of your former clients. Silence. I'm sorry, I said quietly. But I've moved on. I hung up. 6 months later, Brennan Technologies was acquired by a private equity firm for 40 cents on the dollar. Howard retired to Florida. Tyler? I heard he's working at a startup now. Much smaller. Much humbler. Apex gave me a $240,000 raise last quarter. My team just launched a product that's dominating the market Brennan used to own. And every time I see a Patagonia vest, I smile. Some revenge is loud, violent, stupid, but the best revenge. It's legal, it's quiet, and it leaves you so successful that when they finally realize what you did, all they can do is watch you win. Tyler wanted to cut costs. I gave him a masterclass in what value really means. If you've ever been fired, betrayed, or told you weren't worth it, subscribe. Because I've got more stories like this. And every single one ends with the villain learning a very expensive lesson. You can replace a person. You can't replace what they know. And you definitely can't replace what they take with them.